what was your reaction to the trades yesterday?
I was surprised, like all the other trades around the league. But it's one thing that that kind of sucks. Being in this league when you build bonds in locker rooms with guys, and then next day they leave. But like I said, it's a thing that happens every year. So you're surprised, but not at the same time.
From the organizational view, I think you look at it, they got a lot of draft picks for the future.
Yep.
That doesn't really help you guys Sunday against Cleveland or going forward. So how, as a player, where you have 9 games left, do you process it that 2 of your better players are gone from the team?
You control what you can control and play ball. That's it.
Did you? I mean, there were a lot of rumblings beforehand. Did you anticipate that something like that might happen?
I don't pay attention to rumblings like y'all do. Like y'all know I don't like the trades. People have to tell me about them. Like I'm not online seeing what happens, breaking news. So yeah, I mean I didn't really hear about any rumblings, so to say.
So how did you find out yesterday, and like what was your instant gut reaction?
My friend told me both of them, and I think Khalil Herbert told me the other one. But I was surprised, like you said. I was, it's a tough feeling. Like I said, you build these relationships with guys in the locker room, and next day off they're gone. But like I said, you can't control any of that stuff. You just have to get back to work the next day and keep going.
Have you been able to talk to Sauce or Quinton?
No, not yet. I know their phone is blowing up crazy. So you probably wait a few days before hitting them up.
What's the process like for you getting AD and Mechie up to speed now?
Yeah. Of course, first and foremost, I'm excited to have those guys on the team. They're really talented, great football players. But I think it's going to be kind of a slow process, but hopefully we can catch them up to speed. So if I had to guess, they're probably going to have just a few plays at a time, and more and more as each week goes along. But like I said, I'm excited to have those guys on the team. They're very talented, and but yeah, it's going to be a slow process. But from the time that we've had in the meetings, they seem pretty smart and seem to pick up on things pretty fast.
Have they said anything about the offenses that they've been in terms of getting adjusted to you guys' offense? Like, how are you going to help them like come along?
I mean, nah, they haven't really said anything. Shoot, I think AD just got here late last night. So yeah, I mean, we haven't had too much time to talk about stuff like that. But like I said, these guys are very attentive. They're smart too. So I doubt they'll have any problem picking it up.
AG told us that he briefly addressed the trades with the team. What was your takeaway from that?
Yeah, he just told the team that change is constant. That's one thing in this league that doesn't change, and that is change. So you just have to adjust to it, and the team that does it the best will keep going and keep ascending. So yeah, but like I said, you can't be surprised by change. That's just what comes in this business, in this game, and like I said, you just got to keep playing ball.
You were in the division with Cleveland last year. What kind of challenge does this defense present?
Yeah, I think they have one of the top defenses in the league. Of course, they have 95 on the other side of the ball. Great player. So first and foremost, taking care of him. Great second level defenders too, and DBs as well. So they trust their DBs a lot. They play a lot of man coverage, and so it's going to be about really just executing on our side of the ball. And like I said, taking care of 95 and making sure that he doesn't wreck the game.
You mentioned Miles, Justin. When you look at his stats, it looks like a video game. It doesn't look like real when he does sack-wise every single year. What, in your opinion, makes him special?
His athleticism and his strength. I think really just God-given abilities, and just working with those two things right there. He's been able to work up a skill set to where he can do different things on the field. But I think just his God-given abilities, just with his speed and strength, and really his athleticism. So I think that's why he's been so good.
Do you expect to start on Sunday?
We'll see.
Do you feel like you guys found some things in Cincinnati that you can build on, or does it not really work like that because it's so week to week in the NFL?
I think it works. Like I said, I think we've been building on everything since week one. We have a lot of games that were one-score games, and we just happen to be on the other side of that one-score game this time. So we know games are going to be like that each week in and week out. But I think the biggest thing is just building on that win. And just taking that momentum into this week. So yeah.
When do you hope to find out if you're starting or not on Sunday?
I just take it day by day, brother. That's it.
You haven't been told.
Nah.
What's it like operating in that week to week where you don't know, or like the public doesn't know? in that week-to-week world?
I just go to work, and work. That's it.
No emotion about it.
Control what you control.
How encouraged
Take
have
up
you
more.
been about your young tackles, all those Mando, and how they played this year, their development, and then the challenge ahead against Miles?
Yeah, I mean they've been great. Been awesome to be honest with you, especially Armand, his first start against TJ, another future Hall of Famer, and he gets another good test this week. So those guys have been awesome. Super smart, super athletic, and those guys make our offense go. So kudos to those guys.
Just what was your reaction just to the trade yesterday, Sauce and Quentin?
Yeah, I mean, just revert back to the tweet I tweeted out. It's kind of how I feel. So,
How about, what was it like for you? Because there were so many rumors about you those last few hours. What was that feeling like?
I don't really care about rumors. I just, wherever I'm at, that's who's gonna get my best, and I'm a Jet. So,
How about those 2 losses though from defense?
yeah. Again, just revert back to the tweet. That's how I feel. So.
I'm sorry, I didn't see your tweet, so I apologize.
Yeah, you just
Paraphrase it.
just go on my Twitter. It's right there.
What's the morale in the locker room?
Going 1-0 every week. That's a goal.
Were you able to get away from the game a little bit during the bye and then get back to it? Obviously it's hard to build off momentum when you have that bye week.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of high character guys in here that are able to take a break but still come back with that momentum and understand that we're looking to attack this back half of the season, and everybody's just worried about being their best so the team can be our best.
How do you process? I mean, obviously they got a ton of draft capital for the future. That's not going to help you beat Cleveland on Sunday. So as a player, how do you process that?
It's not in my wheelhouse. My job is set the edge and get after the quarterback, and every player in here's got their job to worry about. Upstairs, that's their job, and again, reverting back to my tweet, I got all the faith in the world with people upstairs.
Quentin was a captain on this team.
Yeah.
With him gone now, there's a void there.
Yep.
Is that something you've been an emotional leader or vocal leader? Will you step up even more or just keep being yourself?
I mean, I'm just going to always be the best version of myself, and if that's the role that the guys in the locker room feel I deserve, I'll definitely take that and run with it for sure.
What did you mean when you were eating the popcorn?
It was an entertaining day to say the least. This is my first trade deadline that I was kind of a part of, or had some people in the locker room that I was a part of for sure.
How about the dog game for the Sunday?
Yeah, again, that was my reaction to the day. It was a crazy day for sure.
When you say the best version of yourself, take us in terms of leader, you're on the field,
Yeah, I mean, to me, how you do anything is how you do everything. So just being the same version of myself on and off the field, attacking everything the best to my ability, giving the guys a version of myself that's selfless and, working hard and practicing what I preach.
So more of a lead by example than a vocal leader.
Both. It goes hand in hand for me. I'm going to do what I say and then, still, reiterate what I said. So that's kind of how I am.
Have you had a chance to talk to either of those guys, Quentin or Sauce?
Yeah, we'll always be, brothers for a lifetime. So, yeah, we talk.
What was your reaction to what happened yesterday? Sauce and Quentin?
It's just the nature of the business. Lost 2 really good players, 2 people I'm really good friends with, really close with, and it sucks, but yeah, it's just the nature of the business.
What was your mindset like throughout the trade deadline, because your name was swirling with a lot of the news out there?
It is what it is, Like I said, from the summer, I'm not promised anything. I'm not necessarily their guy that they drafted, so there's no guarantees, there's nothing. So every week I've been trying to go out there and earn it, so that's just what it is.
There were 2 different reports that came out that said you had a desire to be traded, that you wanted, you would welcome one. Is that true?
I think there's just been a lot of stuff out, from just stemming from the summer. There's been a lot of stuff that's true and false. So I just let that be what it is. It's out there. It is what it is. But I'm here and I'm worried about. We're playing Cleveland this week. That's what I'm worried about.
Did you ever request a trade?
No.
But this is a good chance to set the record straight, though. Would you have welcomed a trade?
I mean, I don't think it's up to a player to be traded. It's not really.
Some guys do.
It's not really. Yeah, but it's not really like. I think in my situation, it was. If I was going to be traded, it was going to be whether I wanted to be or not.
Yeah.
So.
Were you hoping to be?
Nah, it's just like I said, it was. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen whether I wanted it to or not. So it was one of those things where I was like, I mean, I can't control what's going to go on. It's going to be what it's going to be. So I just got to be where my feet are and take it with a grain of salt, whatever happens.
With the teams that were mentioned, was there any time that you thought I could see myself there or something like that?
I mean,
did you just try to block all that out?
I'm just trying to focus on the season. I've got a lot of goals for myself, for the team, and it would be a distraction to, my teammates for me to be always worried about, could I fit better with another team. I'm focused on the season and focused on servicing my teammates as best as I can during the week and on Sundays.
Do you want to be here next year?
You said what?
Do you want to be here next year?
If they'll have me, yeah.
Oh, so have there been any talks about?
No talks. Like I said, I'm focused on balling on Sundays and letting the rest of it take care of itself.
It's the coach's job, the GM's job to think about the future of the franchise and the team. How do you reconcile that with wanting to win right now?
Yeah, I'm definitely at a point in my career where I've been here for three other years where we expected to win and it didn't happen. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, all I can do is worry about doing my 111th on Sundays and servicing my teammates how I should be.
Breece, you are in an interesting situation though, because it's clear with the trading of Quinnen and clear with the trading of Sauce that this organization has a fixation on the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. You play a position where it's rare running backs play 12, 13, 14 years, and you're already 4 into this thing.
Yeah.
Does that weigh on your mind at all, that you're entering a part of another rebuild?
Nah, because it's different. I think it's different for some running backs. They enter that second part of their career. They're 26, 27, 28. I'm 24, so it's kind of like, okay, like it is what it is. I'm still young, still fresh. Like you said, I'm in an interesting situation where, I'm going to be a free agent after the season. So, it's kind of like, it's nerve-wracking. But like I said, I'm worried about the season right now. I'm worried about Sundays because at the end of the day, your value comes from you performing on Sundays. So that's all I can worry about right now.
Quinnen was talking to the Dallas media today. He said that the losing did take a toll on him because everyone in the world knew I was frustrated with losing. So you've been here for 4 years losing. What kind of toll has it taken on you?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I don't like to compare myself to other people, but I do feel like I'm one of the better running backs in the league. But losing games and if you're getting down early, you can always show that. You get down early, you naturally have to throw the ball a little more to try to get back in, and then that restricts some of your ops from getting carries and little things like that. But at the end of the day, I'm here. I love the coaching staff. I love what AG is doing. And so at the end of the day, like I said, I'm worried about showing up on Sundays and being a good dude to my teammates, and that's just what it is.
Obviously, you've been through years of kind of frustration and then also having your name out there.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle it differently now? How do you handle a day like yesterday differently now than you might have as a rookie or in your second year?
I don't know. It's just like I said, it is what it is. I'm a type of person to bet on myself. So if I was going to be here, whether I was or wasn't, at the end of the day, I know what I can do as a player. And so, I glorify God enough to, put it in His hands, and I trust in myself. I put the work in. So at the end of the day, I can't be really mad at what the result is. I had a thought of what I wanted everything to be like, but not everything always goes your way. So for me, it's just about showing up every day and getting myself prepared to, show up on Sundays and just ball out and have fun. That's what it is.
What was your shock level when you heard the Sauce trade?
I was actually napping, and then I woke up and just casually waking up on an off day about to play the game, and I decided to get on my phone, and then I see a whole bunch of people texting me and my friends texting me and stuff, and I'm like, what's going on with something? Obviously, you get on social media and see everything, but that's my brother. Me, him, Garrett and Jermaine, Ruck, Clemens, Max Mitchell, all of us, been with each other, you know, through each other's ups and downs, always been there for each other. So, like I said, he knows how I feel about him. That's my brother at the end of the day. So wherever he's at, I'm going to support him.